Hi guys, welcome to our channel and nice to see you again in today's video. You must already know from the ancient history and even today, we have all assumed that national borders are to divide the territorial sovereignty of the country and they are fixed. But the reality is not so. They can easily be changed if a dispute arises. There are borders that are almost non-existent, marked only by a straight line or as a road sign. But there are also borders that can be separated by natural markers, such as rivers or a mountain, or marked by a man-made sign, such as a base post or demilitarized zone. Together with us today, we will explore the most strange and unique borders in the world. Let's move to today's video. Borderline between Indonesia and Malaysia. The border between Malaysia and Indonesia includes an inland boundary separating the territory of the two countries on Borneo Island, and the sea border is running along the Strait of Malacca between the Celebes Sea and the East Sea. But the problem is that both land and sea borders have not been clearly defined. Until recently, Indonesia and Malaysia finally agreed to conduct an intergovernmental survey on the border in 1975 and completed in 2000. In 2006, Indonesia and Malaysia accepted 28 maps, but only identified 1,821 kilometers out of a total of 2,018 kilometers of common border lines. The sea border has more than 20 points to facilitate cross-border movement between neighboring countries. Border of South Korea and North Korea. A demilitarized zone between South Korea and North Korea is located in the village of Panmunjom. It is located in the north from Seoul, at the distance of 50 kilometers. The boundary between South and North Korea becomes a common security area for both regions. It is 257 kilometers long and 4 kilometers wide. When people visit this place here, they still can see soldiers on both sides of the border patrolling along the barbed wire fence, with their look always directed to the other side. Both sides performed many shows as well as many different parades to show their superiority to the other side. Since it was established from 1953 until now, there have been many small skirmishes, killing and injuring many soldiers of both South and North. Getting to the border is also very easy, as it is only half an hour away from Seoul. Despite the risk of conflict, the number of tourists coming here is still increasing rapidly. South Korean travel websites recommend tourists to bring an ID card for identity check. The borderline cuts through a theater in the US and Canada. The borderline of the US and Canada runs along the Derby Line town through buildings and houses, especially the Haskell Free Library and the Opera House are located on the US and Canadian border. Half of the building is located in the US town Derby Line and the other half is located in the Canadian town Stansted. Theater stage is located in Canada, but the entrance and majority of the audience seats are in the US. However, the building has only one entrance on the border of the US territory. An emergency exit is open on the Canadian side. Residents of both countries can enter through this door, but it is strictly controlled that when they go out, they return to their own country immediately without continuing to go further to the other side. Although it is a border, there are no steel wire fences or walls around this area. The inside of the library on the floor is drawn with a black paint line. This painted line runs straight in the house, separating objects, so sometimes people from the two countries jokingly call the only library in Canada that doesn't have any books and the only US theater that doesn't have any stages. Duman River or Tumen River, border between three countries, North Korea, Russia, and China. The Duman River is the boundary between the three countries of North Korea, Russia, and China, so it is strictly protected by the parties. This river is located in Northeast Asia with a length of 521 kilometers, rising in the slopes of Mount Paektu and flowing into the Sea of Japan. The upper reaches of the Duman River is on the border of China and North Korea, and its last 18 kilometers is between Russia and North Korea. The name of the river is derived from Tumen, in Mongolia meaning 10,000. The river is heavily polluted by factories on both the banks of China and North Korea, though it remains a regional tourist attraction. Barley Town, border between Netherlands and Belgium. Barley-Nassau is in the North Brabant province in the south of the Netherlands, while Barley-Hertog is in the Belgian province of Antwerp. The two towns share the same border. However, the international border separating the Barley-Hertog town of the Dutch Barley-Nassau is not a straight line or curve. Instead, the the border division between the two countries is very complicated. Parts of Belgium and the Netherlands are scattered around the town of Barley, with a total of 26 distinct lands. The borderline is marked with white crosses on the sidewalks and roadside pillars, zigzag through town, through restaurants, houses, gardens, and the street. So, you can eat at a Belgian restaurant in the morning and have dinner in the Netherlands in the evening. That is why some houses are divided into two. One half is located on the Dutch border, the other half belongs to Belgium. And determining the nationality of households depends on the location of the main door. If the borderline crosses the street, the two parts of the road will belong to two different countries. This thing has attracted a lot of tourists to the towns of these two countries. Many years ago, the shops in Belgium were open on Sundays, but the Netherlands did not, except for the stores in Barley. Taxes in these two countries are sometimes very different, so customers sometimes have to do shopping with two different tax percentages on the same street. Boundary between Bangladesh and India. India and Bangladesh share a 4,100-kilometer long border, drawn hastily around one of the most densely populated places on Earth in 1947. Because of these endless zigzag lines, the border becomes the fifth longest border in the world. This is one of the craziest and most complicated frontier areas in the world, because it has unique territories in the world, in which India and Bangladesh have areas located in the border of each other. The Hala Kagrabari is a particularly complex territory. India's territory is inside Bangladesh and is surrounded by a part of India, which is surrounded by a territory of Bangladesh. However, things were simplified in 2015 when India ceded the area to Bangladesh. Under the Land Border Agreement, Bangladesh transferred 51 lands to India, while India transferred 111 lands to Bangladesh. Even after the land exchange, there are still some areas with vague geography. The world's highest borderline between China and Nepal. In the world, there are many countries separated by natural borders such as mountains or coastlines. The borderline between China and Nepal is perhaps the most special border because the world's roof, Everest, is right on this border. China has 10 peaks of over 8,000 meters high. Famous as Jumalangma, 8,840 meters high, is Everest located right on the border between China and Nepal. This mountain morphology is like a giant tower with three sides, north, west, and east. There are steep slopes with glacial blades going down 200 to 300 meters in the valleys. It is not only the tallest mountain, but also the highest border area in the world. District of Columbia. The District of Columbia, or Washington, D.C. itself. The city of Washington was originally a separate self-governing municipality within the territory of Columbia, until an act of Congress of the United States of 1871 went into effect combining the city and this territory into a single entity called the District of Columbia. That is why this city, while officially known as the District of Columbia, is known as Washington, D.C. It means the City of Washington District of Columbia. The city with Potomac River, bordering Maryland and Virginia, is one of the most visited cities in the world, with more than 20 million tourists annually. The city is located on the north bank of the Potomac River and is bounded by Virginia to the southwest and Maryland to the west parts. Although the special zone has a population of 672,228 people, however, many people move in and out from the surrounding suburbs, so the actual population is over 1.1 million during the working week. Diomede Islands, boundary between the U.S. and Russia. Diomede has only 2 islands in Bering Strait. The small island only has 146 people and the large island belongs to Russian territory and is uninhabited. The 2 islands are about 4 kilometers apart and that is the border between Russia and the U.S. A special thing here is that the borderline between the U.S. and Russia coincides with the international date line. The international date line has made the time on the large Diomede Island run before the small Diomede Island by about 20 hours. When the people of the small island tick to the big island, they're not only observing another country, but they're also seeing tomorrow in the neighboring country due to the difference between the 2 islands. For example, on a small island, it is 9 a.m. on Saturday, then on a big island, it is 6 a.m. on a Sunday. This is why the big Diomede is called Tomorrow Island, and the small Diomede is called Yesterday Island. The unrecognized border of Sudan and Egypt. Located between the two countries, Egypt and Sudan is a land area of 2,000 square meters. Sudan is a land area of 2,000 square kilometers, but none of these countries wants to claim sovereignty. This place is called the Bir Tawil Triangle, though it has the shape of a quadrilateral. In 1899, when Great Britain controlled Egypt and Sudan, they created the border between the two countries, and in 1902, Great Britain again drew a different border than the one which was in 1899. When Egypt and Sudan were independent, Egypt claimed the territorial border was determined by 1899, while Sudan claimed its sovereignty according to 1902, in which both wanted Halaib to belong to them, as this land was 10 times more fertile than Bertawil and had a lot of resources. Both sides would like to give Bertawil to each other, but neither side accepted, so Bertawil is the only territory that is not under sovereignty of any country. Today, Egypt still administers Bertawil, but does not recognize this area on its map. Thank you for watching the video. Do you find the above boundaries unique? Hopefully, you'll have more useful knowledge after watching today's video. If you find it interesting, please give me a like and share with everyone. In order to update the coolest and most interesting videos from our channel, please press the red button subscribe and the bell image next to it. See you in the next videos!